figured I'd jump in and just tell you what what I picked up. This is usually the spot here where the hard body Cherokee TRX4 sits. I did something I swore I wasn't going to do. Anyway, ever since I bought the Optic, I run it primarily whenever we go out trailing. I have taken that out a couple of times. So the Cherokee just sat here. It's a good truck, but I gotta say that I kind of overbuilt it. So it sat here for a couple months, and I started kicking around the idea of maybe selling it, trading it, or something. So I listed it on Marketplace about 3 or 4 days ago. When I listed it for a decent price, a really decent price. And so it sat on there for a couple of days, and I had a couple people offer to trade me different things for it, but nothing just struck my fancy. And then yesterday I had a guy sent me a message, said, "Hey man, would you be interested in trading for this?" And I'm like, heck yeah. I don't know if anybody saw it, but Clint, which is my better half son, he bought a bunch of stuff not long ago. So he got, in one of his purchases, he got a Traxxas sledge, and we had to rebuild the differential on the rear axle, get it all back together. We didn't use proper parts on it. We ordered the ring gear and the pinion off of Amazon, and it lasted about 2 days. The proper stuff, Traxxas parts, have been ordered, and so we're waiting on those to get here. We shouldn't have any problems with it from then on when it gets here and goes to get those installed. But I was really impressed with number one, the size of that truck, the speed of that truck, the durability of it outside of the ring gear. That Chinesium struck again. But man, I was like, man, this is really cool. And I never had anything like that. So this guy sends me a message and wants to trade me a Arrma Kraton 6S for my Cherokee. For what I had in the Cherokee and what those Kratons go new, it was pretty much a straight swap. So I said, sure. I'm pretty stoked about it. I really like this thing. The only thing about it is it's so gargantuan that it takes up just about my entire work area here on my bench. I know nothing about it. I'm still learning. If you know anything about these trucks, please bombard the comments section and let me know what to look out for, what I might want to upgrade, and such as that. Again, I don't know anything about it. I've started to research them a little bit since he did get that sledge. And so this was one that I was actually looking at and considering purchasing. And so whenever the opportunity came up just to make a straight trade, I figured, what the hell? I have tested the thing when I got it here. It didn't come with a radio, so I did put it on my Fly Sky, and it's worked out really well. I believe these tires are stock. I think that's the only thing that I'll wind up changing down the line. I'm going to go ahead and just abuse these until they're absolutely bald. I'm not sure about the electronics that came in at stock. One humongous Hobby Wing 6S capable ESC, and the motor, I'm pretty sure, is not stock. It's a 1750 kV. My understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, it either came with a 2040 or 2040, 2050 or something like that, or 2400 kV. But I can tell you that with this 1750, it's incredible. It's got some speed. But when he was telling me about it, he said he hadn't run it very much, but one of the passes that they did make with it topped out at around 71 miles an hour. Now, I'm not saying this truck is going to run 70, 71 miles an hour right now, because I don't have enough room over here to stretch it out. If this thing will run 70 miles an hour, that's pretty impressive. Now, I know I can get more out of it, but I don't know that that's what I want to do. I'm still fairly new to this speed stuff, especially with something of this size. So I think I'm going to cut my teeth on this, maybe upgrade the motor. ESC seems to be doing just fine. But I mean, if those parts do go bad, then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. It's sitting on an aluminum chassis. I'm pretty sure that's not stock. Rear tower is aluminum. The front tower is aluminum. I think the shocks are stock. Everything else primarily seems to be stock. I set it down yesterday, plugged two 3S batteries into it, and was a nervous wreck. But the first time I yanked back on that trigger and it stood up and actually sat back on that wheelie bar and went across the yard straight as an arrow, I was impressed. So I'm looking for good things out of it. We took a very short piece of video yesterday. That is on Eric's phone. Eric went with me to get it. So I will do my best to get that from him and then upload it on another video that should follow this, hopefully by the weekend. And I'm going to do my best to get some run video as soon as I can find a place that's big enough that I can stretch it out. I don't want to do it out here in front of the house anymore because you have to contend with the traffic. That tire is taller than that can is. This thing is nuts. It's way nuts. I've got this. There's certain things that I've got to get now since I've got it. I don't have a 17 millimeter wheel wrench or anything like that, but and I may look into one of those outerwears covers to cover everything here. Now, I don't want to try to run this thing in like wet grass and whatnot, but yeah, if you've got one of these damn things, how about let me know what to look for and what to keep my eye on as far as any wear parts or what you think I might want to look into upgrading, because I certainly would appreciate it. There is the sledge. We are waiting for that ring gear and pinion part in the floor, but yeah, so that is the reason that is on the bench. Probably one of the first things I'm going to do is source a new body. There's nothing wrong with this body. It's just it really looks a lot like that sledge body, and don't mind the blue at all. Colors on it look great. He did put a place here for, I guess, to get better airflow to that ESC. But I think I'd like to do just a different body. You know, every time I've ever raced anything, it's always been orange, black, and white, or orange, black, and silver. So maybe do something like that, maybe a tricolor fade or something like that. But that's probably going to be the first thing I do, and then start looking into another set of tires and down the line. But I'm going to be running this thing because I'm addicted to it. Sometime this week. Again, just looking for a big area to run it. Thanks for taking a look. Again, if you got any information about these Arrma Kratons, please let me know, because I know nothing about them. But I want to learn it, I want to enjoy it, and I want to bring you guys along for the ride. So take good care of yourselves. Remember, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will catch you guys on the next video. Take care.